Okay, Hannah, are we ready?
Are you making me breakfast, Caroline?
Right through the screen.
Yeah, I like my eggs, organic eggs though. Over easy with cheese.
Woo.
He just wants everything, doesn't he?
How about butter?
Bacon.
Only if it's grown on, with pork with loving care.
Absolutely. I'll
And-
talk to my cow.
No hormones or GMOs. Right?
No bacon. No, bacon is a pig.
Hi, Kyle. All
Hey,
right.
Kyle.
Hi there.
Okay, so let's get started. Welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. I am lighting a candle that happens to have 2 wicks. And the first wick represents spirit, God, all that is. And then when there's a second, the second wick represents us as community. And when we gather together, we show a greater light. Okay, so anyways, John, you want to lead us in a opening song?
It's a new month, time for a new start. It seems like it was just yesterday that we did this.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn on the whatchamacallit here, if I can get to it now. Let me stop that a second and turn on the musician thing. Sorry. It always works better when I do that, I think. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. With kindness for each other, we live and grow in peace. Whoa, whoa, making a new start, awareness growing here and there as we care for one another. Love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart, living in a better way. For living in a better way. For living in a better way.
Thank you so much, John. That was great. And so today is a new month, as we all know. It's March. And, this month we're going to be our talks will we'll be talking about life in some way or another. And the anyways, I am the speaker today, and I'm going to be talking about it. And then next week it's Carol Ann. Then the following week we're probably going to do a discussion unless somebody decides they want to speak. And
I can speak.
you want to do the third as well as the fifth? Okay. So Michael will do the third. And then the fourth week will be John, and the fifth week will be Michael. So, all right. So we're all good. And anyways, so that's what's going on here. And I'm going to turn this over to Michael and John to get us into meditation. Thank you.
I am life, so it is. We are life, so it is. I am aware, so it is. We are aware, so it is. I am peace, so it is. We are peace, so it is. I am aware, so it is. We are aware, so it is. I am love, so it is. We are love, so it is.
So as you continue to let those verses resonate through your mind and your consciousness, that we are love, that we are light, that we are the universe as us, and so it is. So it is. So as we take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale, become centered in your hearts and become still. Peace, be still, and know that I am God. Get beyond the mind, put it right into your heart. Peace, be still, and know that I am God. Yes. And feel that God life awareness in and through and as you. And understand that you have the same creative powers as the One. And And you can also say, and so it is, which is a form of amen, which is a form of so mote it be from the Old English, which is an acceptance of what you have just said. So as I read today from Science of Mind 365 about affirmative prayer, let its words be your words today. Dr. Holmes' commentary says, today, thousands of people are coming to believe and use the power of affirmative prayer. And we are entering into a new era of spiritual acceptance. Something definite is happening in the field of spiritual thought and endeavor. From all sources, we are coming to realize that affirmative prayer is dynamic. It should be easier today than ever before for people to accept the simple teaching that there is a power that's greater than ourselves, that our desire is good, and that a lot of mind may be consciously used for definite purposes. We shall be both inspirational and scientific when we come to believe this. Inspirational in the belief and scientific in the use of the law. For while the belief is personal, the law is impersonal, and it acts upon the thought regardless of who we are. So we should come to believe in the exactness of this law. We should use it definitely and consciously. And this requirement applies in every science and applies equally to the science of mind, where we are not dealing with chaotic laws that may or may not respond to us. We are dealing with a certainty of a reaction that is equal to the reaction or the response that is equal to our own conviction. We are dealing today with a definite purpose, but the conviction is personal. It's a thing of warmth and color and a feeling. So pray with me the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, and just know with me, today I affirm the all good. Today I affirm the all good. Say that with me silently. Today I affirm the all good. And I know today that my word, being acted upon by a power that's greater than I am, is sure to accomplish its purpose. So therefore, I find peace and joy and an inward tranquility in my own acceptance, knowing that the law of God is perfect. I know that today that my word is certain. My faith is complete. My affirmation cannot be denied. Living in this continual acceptance, finding security in this complete trust, and in gratitude, I accept now every good thing that life has to offer, and in love, I share it with all. From 1 Corinthians 14, verse 15 says, I will pray with the Spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. Yes. And as we understand today that we are one with this infinite life, and being one with this infinite life is that we can plant into the soil of the universe, or the law, anything that we desire. The challenge has always been that we do it haphazardly. So today, right here, right now, we turn our conscious minds over to that infinite life within us, to guide us, to direct us, to see the law consciously now, to see the law for good. So today we see the law by knowing for our wonderful gathering today here at Summit Center for Spiritual Living that it is life-changing, life-affirming, life-realizing. We recognize that every word that is sung, every word that is spoken, Diana's talk again brings forth that which is already within us, which is that life of spirit, that life of God. So we just give great thanks for this day, and we just now know not only does it touch the lives of each and every person watching live, but it also goes out to touch the lives of the world. people just happen out of the blue to stumble onto this program, but it's not out of the blue. We intend for people to watch this, not only in our area of Akron and Ohio, but also the world, because this message is worldwide. So we just give great thanks for today, because we know and are grateful for this awareness of spirit as love and also the creative law. And for this, we just give great thanks. As again, as we release us into the creative law, knowing it's already a done deal. And let's say together the words that Jonathan is singing, and so it is.
So it is. We are aware. So it is. I am light. So it is. We are light. So it is. So it is.
Thank you. And it says, we open our eyes, we come back to the room. Please take a moment to look into the screen and look at each other's eyes. And just recognize the spirit that's in there, that is in each and every one of us. And just see the magnificence that is you in there. So I always like seeing this. This is my favorite part of the day when we do this. All right. The music sounded really good today, Don. So thank you. All right. So as we were talking about, we're going to be talking about life this month, and I have a couple things I want to share with you. First off, I'm going to start off with, I can get it to open up, what Ernest Holmes says in his what life is in the Science of Mind, in the glossary. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's almost a whole entire page. Well, it is an entire page of stuff. But this is what he says: life, the animating principle of being, that inner something that makes everything live. Life and power are necessary attributes of a limitless being, and go hand in hand to complete a perfect being. Life is that which lives, and power is the energy with which it operates. Considering life and power as a combination of unity and causation, we see that they constitute the underlying basis of all manifestation, visible and invisible. So, like I said, it goes on, but basically, it's saying that life is there. It's and it's wherever it was created, it has a power. It has a lot into it. And so I have picked out two things from the Science of Mind archives. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the will to live. Now, if I happen to get to how to live a good life, we'll see how long this takes to go to the will through the will to live. But I was looking at this and I thought, oh, this sounds like a good topic for life. So, and I'm just going to read a little bit from that too. You know that how often it happens that when someone is ill and it seems as though death is inevitable, he has such a will to live that he makes a complete recovery. And so frequently a physician will say about the patient, I have done all that I can for him. Science has gone as far as it can. His recovery will now depend on whether or not he has the will to live. So that happens a lot when we are in that situation where people live. I bring up this right now because this month on my brother, my older brother, he died at age 42. His birthday was March 7th, and he died on March 12th. And my mother died on March 7th. Now, my mother, when she took her, when she got to the point where she, knew she wasn't going to recover or whatever, and we had her at her home, and my brother and sister mostly took care of her, but the last few weeks or so, I was with her a lot. And anyways, we were when we got to March 1st, I remember the conversation with my brother. She should have been gone. She should have a month before that. But I said, she's going to make it. Now she's going to make it till the 7th. I just know she is. She's going to wait to that top moment that she brought into my older brother, into life. And I happened to be blessed, and I was also, I was with both my parents when they passed. My father passed many years ago, and his was in the hospital. But I was with him at his last moment. But then Mom, I was the one that everybody was out there, but I was the one with her those last few minutes. And what was really difficult about it was she had I found out from the mortician that she had like no water left in her body. She had hardly anything. And so when the time came, and if I were to find out the exact time my brother was born, I think she actually let go at the same time he would have been born. I know it was within the same hour of when he would have been born. And it was difficult because she was very, very, I couldn't do anything for her. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't do any, it was difficult. But she had that will to live. And up to that point, and like I said, I don't know exactly, but when I knew that by March 1st that she was still alive, she hadn't let go at that point. I knew she was going to make it till the 7th, and she did. And I also told my brother, I said, if for some reason she makes it past the 7th, it'll be the 12th. But I know she was waiting for my brother. I mean, my dad was already there. They both were there waiting for her, but she was waiting for his same time for his birth. So it's interesting how the will of life goes on. So we are told that, I'm going back to Ernest Holmes, we are told that when we are born with a will to live and an almost equal will to die, that we look forward to more pain and unhappiness than we do peace and joy. The mind silently sets to work to destroy the physical body so that we shall not have to suffer the pain we unconsciously anticipate. So we have this will to live automatically, but we also have this will, we make a decision as to whether or not we want to die. And when we make that decision, it's, even if it's not a conscious decision, if we don't have, if we in our mind, it still works that we're letting go, and it's time to go, and things, our body just starts giving out. So one of the most, Ernest Holmes says, one of the most revealing things that has happened in recent years is the close relationship which has been discovered between the body and the mind. The modern physician is a physician to the mind as well as the whole body. We bring a large part of the physical disorders upon ourselves through the misuse of the very laws of mind that could easily keep us well and happy. So the mind is what plays a lot. I know Hannah and Carol Ann and I were talking about before the service, that our minds are the big difference. When we want something to come about, we have to set it into motion. We have to know that that is ultimately what we want. And we have to be very careful to not say the things that we don't want. Because when we are saying the things we don't want, they're still going to happen. We're making it happen because we are affirming that that's what's going to happen. So if we feel that we're sick all the time, we're going to be sick all the time. We feel that we are unlucky all the time, guess what? We're not going to have much luck. If we feel that we don't have the right mate, we won't have love in our life, we're not going to have love in our life. We have to get beyond that and try to see that it's already there. All we have to do is accept that the good, the love, light, the life is there for us. So he goes on to say, a will to live and a will to be happy are necessary to our physical well-being. And yet we say that self-preservation is the first law of life. And at first thought, we'll all believe that we do have the will to live. But the mind plays many tricks with us. By far, the larger part of our thinking is unconscious. We are not even aware of it, that it is going on, but our unconscious of the mind is still creative and is silently building conditions in the physical body for good or for ill, according to the direction that is given to this inner creative principle. So no matter what, it's going on. Whatever we're thinking about, even if we're not conscious of it, it's happening. So it's so important that when we are conscious of things, that we be very positive, that we be very aware of our thinking. There's enough of that negative thinking in the world out there. We're going to expose to it no matter what. So we have to be careful with that. Now, I started this because what he says here is Holmes says, if we follow this a little more closely, we see exactly how it works. When a person feels that he is not wanted or needed or loved, then he unconsciously feels that there is something wrong with him. He doesn't know just what it is, but he has this deep feeling about it, as much to say as, if I weren't alive, all right, if I weren't all right, then people would want me. They would, if I were all right, I'm sorry, if I were all right, then people would want me. They would need me. They would love me. In this way, the person rejects himself and then suffers because of this self-imposed condemnation. We are so good at condemning ourselves. So easy. I'm fat, I'm lonely, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, but a lot of times that's negative stuff. Instead of saying, I'm happy, I'm positive, I'm beautiful, I'm joyful. It takes less energy to be joyful than it does to be negative. It takes less energy to be positive. It takes less energy in general for good in our lives. But when we start to take thinking about the time and thinking about the bad instead of the good, we have a tendency to keep thinking about it. I never used to listen to the news very often. And lately I have been listening to the news, and I'm going to have to stop listening to the news again, because yes, I need to be, it's okay to know what's going on out in the world, but I don't need to be immersed in it so much that it is making my thinking, changing my thinking on life again. Because when I'm constantly being looking at the things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the political things, it's like, doesn't matter what your thing is. I don't understand. I don't understand Donald Trump. I don't understand how he can still be in of the race. But that's beside the point, just because of all the the possible legal things that are going on with him. And at the same time, I don't necessarily understand Biden. He's older. I don't know. Everybody has to make their own decisions as the time goes on, but I can't, and I need to make a good decision, and I need to take that into, when the time comes to vote, I need to take that into my thoughts and into meditation to know what is the best for myself of the way to go. But when you're constantly hearing the political stuff, and then, yeah, we have those things, the different wars that are going on, and what happens to these children that are killed, for no reason, and or people are kidnapped, or it's just terrible. So we need to look more at positivity in our lives. So if that means not listening to the news all the time, then stay away from it. Because I didn't realize how much every single thing, for me to actually listen to a whole newscast, a half-hour newscast, how much of it is so negative, because I hadn't watched it for so long. And I was like, oh, gotta stop that. So Ernest Holmes goes on to say, this creates an inner conflict in the mind, a sense of insecurity, a feeling that everything is wrong, that nothing is going to come out right. And out of this deep feeling of insecurity comes the anxiety complex, a feeling of apprehension and foreboding of evil, that nothing is ever going to come out right. So the merry race goes on in the inner conflicts of the mind until finally the frustration is so great. I'm sorry, I lost my page. frustration is so great that the mind begins to destroy the body because all of the impressions it has that it has been received and destructive. And when this reaches a point where there is no longer a will to resist, we say the person doesn't have the will to live. And so even nature cannot destroy him. And it can, in such cases, he generally passes on. So when we're constantly taking on this stuff, it really becomes an anxiety complex. When we spend more time thinking about these things, we get anxious. And then that anxiousness brings on more worry and thought, and that is not in a positive way. It also brings in about more conflict because sometimes it brings us. We'll argue with people for no reason. I don't know. Michael said something the other day, and I started yelling at him. I don't even know what it was. And I ended up apologizing, but it was like, why? Why did I do that? So Britta says this, what we need then is deep underlying faith or conviction about life that will remove this inner conflict and let original divine pattern come to the surface. For we are rooted in God, the living spirit. I'm going to read that again. What we need then is some deep underlying faith or conviction about life that will remove this inner conflict and let the original divine pattern come to the surface. For we are rooted in God, the living spirit. Our roots run deep into the creative soil of the infinite mind. And if we had not interfered with this divine light, if we had not stopped drawing us straight from the roots of our being, we would be all right. The new science of the mind recognizes this, and its whole endeavor to find out just where, when, and how we started on the wrong path, the pathway that leads to unhappiness and frustration, whether than joy or through self-expression. Man is born to be happy, to live creatively, to love, to sing, to dance, and to express himself to the full. And when he doesn't do this, he unconsciously wishes he were dead. He no longer has the will to live. So I want to repeat the part where he says, man is born to be happy, to live creatively, to love, to sing, to dance, and to express himself to the full. That is so important. We are not supposed to be unhappy. Now, yeah, there's going to be times when we're not as happy as we could be. That's normal. It's okay to have a few negative thoughts once in a while. It's okay to have some negative things, but we have to be aware of them, that these are changing our thinking overall. So when we recognize that we are getting that negative feeling or that negative energy, that we can stop it and change it. We have that ability to turn it around. And this one I triple starred for him. He said, we must find some way to more easily and quickly reach the seat of our trouble. And the method is simple. Instead of probing the mind to see just where, what, when, and how the whole negative chain of destructive reaction started, we can go back to that which is more fundamental, to life itself, to God, the creative spirit, and simply say, I was born of God. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Nothing ever has interfered with this life. Nothing can, nothing is ever going to. Wow. I am born of spirit. I am born of God. Spirit is within me. I know that my life is perfect, or that spirit is perfect. Maybe my life strives to be perfect. But it is so important that we just continue to work with that. Then he also says, but I know that there is nothing in the universe that holds anything against me. And following the line of thought of the greatest teacher, when he said, forgive and you will be forgiven, we can say, I forgive myself. I forgive everyone else. The past is gone. It needs no longer affect me. I feel that I have complete clearance. I know that God holds nothing against me, and that if I have done anything to hurt others, or that have done anything to hurt me, I now forgive myself and them. Forgiveness. That's the first step to anything. You must forgive whatever the problem may be, whether it was a person, a thing, a job. As when we learn to forgive, it allows us to let go of that hurt, that negative feeling. So whether we did something that we weren't happy about and we need forgiveness for doing that, or something that we just can't seem to deal with. I know, like for me, when I lost my job, it was my fault I lost my job. What I said I shouldn't have done. It was a mistake. But I've had to forgive myself for that, because I'm human. It's not the perfect thing, but I also know that this has allowed me to have a different way of seeing things, and a better way of seeing things, and that as my life has improved, it's gotten better. And great things like we paid our last mortgage payment on Friday. Yay! There's good stuff. So that's it's one of those things that just happens. So I'm gonna let go. I'm out of time, basically. So we have to let go of the insecurity, and the anxiety. We need to just say, okay, Spirit, I know you're there. I know you are taking care of me. I agree that life is good, and I don't always see it, but I now accept that it is good, and then I am going to make a difference in my own personal life, so I can help make my difference for other people. And it starts with me recognizing that I have a will to live, and the will to live is good. It's great. So with that, I finish, and thank you. So I'm going to open this up to anybody who may have any questions or comments.
Well, that was very nice.
Thank you,
I'm
John.
glad you figured out that you're human too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being human isn't so bad, I guess. We learn from it.
That's right. Right. So anybody else had any questions or comments? I know Tim opened up his picture, so it tells me that he might.
There he is.
Okay, or nice. And Michael actually has, I know he opened his up with his sound on, so.
Well, no, I thought that was excellent, Diana, and I think that again, the whole idea of a will to live is based upon do we think, and again, that's the word think, do we think that we have purpose in our lives? And so the whole idea that we do have purpose from the day that we took our first breath to the day that we take our last. So that there's purpose in our lives, and that the purpose is to love. And so I think that tapping into that purpose within us is very important, not only for longevity, but also choosing. The other thing too is choosing to be healthy. Choosing to be healthy. Yes, we're all going to take our last breath, but to choose to be healthy, to choose to be healthy. And I think that again that that choice is something that has to be done deliberately and consciously. Choose to be healthy. Choose to not only do the things that you need to do physically, like eat right and exercise and all that stuff, but also mentally. Dealing with and that's one of the things, especially with it's been written about over the years with especially with men who retire, that what happens is that they don't, again, everything has been wrapped around their jobs rather than having a new purpose, rather than having, refiring. That I like that term, refiring, doing something else, going off and finding, again, not only finding purpose, but knowing that you are a person of great value, no matter what your age. So, but that was great, Diana. Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned about watching the news and so forth. I don't watch TV. There's actually one in my living room now after 12 years of it being in storage, but it's unplugged. There's just no place else to put it, so it's there. But yeah, I don't watch TV, but I still gather what's going on from the internet and so on, and make comments on it and whatever. Not too much about politics. That's kind of crazy to me, but yeah, we need to be aware of what's going on in the world, but not be too captured by it or preoccupied with it, as our own adventure is interacting with the world and ourselves and learning and growing from it all, and then doing what we can to make the world better.
Right.
Yeah, whatever the political climate wherever it tends to go these days, just keep in mind how positive Jesus of Nazareth was in the political climate he lived in.
There you
go.
What your title reminded me of was the Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner routine, 2013-year-old man, where Carl Reiner, as the reporter, asked Mel Brooks, as the 2013-year-old man, "What's kept you alive so long?" And he said, "Will to live." Ah, the will to live, not the will to live. Doctor to live, Doctor Will to live. Kept you alive so. And I think if there's a metaphysical lesson in that, it's a lot of people think that way. Yes, it's having this great doctor for so many years. No, he's probably lost as many patients as he has like you. So it's your decision to live a happy, healthy life.
And my approach is to avoid doctors.
I loved at the very beginning, as you were introducing the will to live, you just made one statement and then moved off of it. And that statement was, it takes less energy to be happy. And I don't know whether it's me or my age, but hey, if I can find something that's more energy efficient, I mean, we certainly do it for our house. Why not do it for our physical body and be happy? I mean, it just is like and we've had so many guidelines, we've had so many pointers in that. I mean, to me, all of Science of Mind is pointing, it's pointing. Jesus is pointing to that. Um, AA is pointing to that with the Serenity Prayer. Somewhere along the line when I was in high school, I came across Micah 6:8. And it has really been my guiding light. And it simply says, he has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. And it just struck me as, oh, and to me, that is such a great will to live, such a guiding light. So it makes it very easy to literally smile all the time, to smile at strangers, to just, go about my way and see what each day brings, and literally wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, good, another day. But, and at the end of the day, I give thanks that I have another day in the morning, and I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I also give thanks in the evening, thanking for the day, and being thankful for the lessons that I have learned, because that's, I mean, that's what this is all about. Wouldn't it be nice that we got to nirvana and everything is peaceful and wonderful and loving? I think it would be horrible. There is something about the discovery and the joy and the frustration, and learning to look at it and learn from it so that, we don't have to make that mistake again.
Yes. Thank you. All right, John, I'm going to have you go ahead and do that song for us.
All right. Life flows on within and around us everywhere. Life is there, it follows and inspires our thinking. Life is present everywhere. Consciousness is always rising. Life is flowing all along. Awareness is always growing, awakening in the living song. All around us, life is happening everywhere. Life is there, attuning and always adapting. Life is present everywhere. Consciousness is always rising. Life is flowing all along. Awareness is always growing, awakening in the living song. Consciousness is always rising. Life is flowing all along. Awareness is always hearing sounds, perceiving visions everywhere. Life is there, opening to what it offers. Life is present everywhere. Life is present everywhere.
Thank you, John. That's beautiful. Okay, so it is that time in our service where we get the opportunity to give. There are several ways you can give. One is to go to Zelle, and you would go to sscofakron@gmail.com. That's sscofakron@gmail.com, and you can give that way. Or you can send a check to with the word summit on it, and it would go to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio 44310. So let's take in our hands right top over left, and just know that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive is blessed in a very special way. And then it goes to the work of Summit Center for Spiritual Living, and for the truth that it sets us free and allows to be returned 10 times or more to the giver. And so it is. Amen. Okay, good, more good, John.
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good and more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
All right, thank you. Announcements.
Okay, real quick, because I have production to do today. Tonight on the Miracle of Prosperity, they are going to have a very special guest host all the way from the great city of Akron, Ohio. Yes, it will be yours truly, the Reverend Michael Mangus, speaking on planting your seeds for prosperity. So that's tonight on the Miracle of Prosperity. On you can go to our Facebook page, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, or you can go to the New Thought Media Network YouTube page, and I will be there. It's going to be it's yeah. And then I got shows and production and all kinds of stuff. So you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you. Great job, Diana. That was really good.
Reminds me it's time to plant my garden seeds for vegetables.
Yes. All
My
right.
announcement is yeswise.com, where you can see YesWise Inspiry, my weekly little inspiring chat or talk, and other stuff too. And by the way, put it on your calendar, those local. We're going to play at the Jenks Building in Cuyahoga Falls for lunchtime on the 27th, the last Wednesday of the month. It's downtown Falls. I can tell you more about how to get there, but to bring your own lunch bag lunch. They have drinks that you can get,
All right.
snack or whatever you want.
Sounds good. All right. Tim, it looks like you had an announcement, or you just maybe not.
Me?
Yeah. No? Okay. How about you, Carol Ann?
I am looking at starting another 6-week course on powerful prayer.
Wonderful.
I am working, actually, how it started was I have a friend in Germany that missed the first one that I did. And she has been in contact with me and saying, please do another one. So have to allow for the difference in time, but that should be coming up pretty quickly. And once I have the dates and all, I'll let everyone know.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, if that's all of our announcements, we're going to take a moment of silence. And I'm going to bring us in and I will bring us out. But in the meantime, what I want you to do is to just know for yourself, a family member, the world, healing. Whatever needs to be healed is happening right here, right now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us, and wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of peace. We are the people of peace. Sing out, people, sing out peace. We are the people of peace. We are the people of joy. We are the people of joy. Sing out, people, sing out joy. We are the people of joy. We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out love. We are the people of love. We are the people of love.
All right, thank you. And that ends our service. Hannah, let us know when you have finished the Facebook.